Hey everybody, wanted to get on here today to talk about a topic that we've been getting a ton of calls on, and unfortunately, I'm only expecting the volume of calls to increase as a result of everything that's going on in the economy, and that's foreclosure and how to avoid it. First, I want to squash a common misconception, which is that foreclosure only happens to people who are financially irresponsible. In our experience, that's just not true. The vast majority of the homeowners we speak with are facing foreclosure due to unforeseen circumstances that were outside of their control. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they came into some health issues, etc. So please don't hesitate to give us a call. Tell us about your situation. Let's see how we can help you out. Now, foreclosures can be very time consuming, stressful, and costly, and the impacts can follow you around for years to come because foreclosure will negatively impact your credit score, which will limit your ability to borrow money in the future. So you definitely want to try to avoid foreclosure if possible. Now, the number one way to avoid foreclosure is simply to sell the home. You use the proceeds of the sale to pay off the mortgage, and then there's no more mortgage, no more foreclosure. There's two ways to sell a home. You can sell it with a realtor on the open market, or you can sell it directly to an investor. Now, whether you sell to an investor or go with a realtor really depends on your situation and what your needs are. We get a lot of homeowners who call us and they say, hey, I need to sell my house fast. My house is going to foreclosure auction in 5 days. Can you help me? And the answer is yes. We're typically able to postpone that auction date so that we have ample time to go through the normal closing process. Additionally, many of these homeowners say that they need a cash advance prior to closing so that they can secure their next home, so that they can reserve movers, etc. If selling to an investor, you're more likely to get that cash advance than if you go and you list the property with a realtor to sell it on the open market. Additionally, many homeowners need time to live in the home after closing, maybe for a month to finish packing up all their belongings. Again, that's another thing that investors will oftentimes offer. So you kind of got to figure out, based on your situation, whether you can just go on the open market or whether it makes more sense to sell to an investor who might be able to work with you on some of these requests that you might have. Second way to avoid foreclosure is to do what's called a short sale. Now, this typically happens when you owe more than what the house is worth. Let's say you owe $100,000 and the house is only worth $80,000. Well, the bank knows nobody's going to pay $100,000 to fully pay off the loan, so the bank might be willing to take a buyer who's willing to pay $80,000 and accept that $80,000 as sufficient payoff to halt the foreclosure and close out the loan. Now, another way to avoid foreclosure is what's called a deed in lieu of foreclosure. The foreclosure process is where the lender is going through the court system to claw back the property and take title back to the property. Well, deed in lieu is you basically saying, hey, let's forego all of that. I'm just going to sign the house over to the bank. Another way to avoid foreclosure is to sell your home subject to the existing mortgage. What that means is you will sell the home, the new owner will be on title, but the mortgage will stay in your name. Now, the new owner, they are going to be responsible for the obligation of paying off that loan until it's fully paid off. There's two key benefits to selling your house subject to the existing mortgage. Number one, when a buyer is buying this way, they're typically able to pay more for your home than if they were paying off the mortgage. So you're able to put a little bit more money in your pocket, which I'm sure is very helpful right now. Secondly, when you sell your home subject to, because the loan is staying in your name and the new owner is making those mortgage payments, the new owner, by making those payments, is improving your credit. So if your credit is in a bit of a rocky patch and you're trying to improve it, well, when you sell your home subject to, those payments that the new owner is making are going to be working towards improving your credit score. Another way to avoid foreclosure is to rent the home. If you can rent the home for more than the monthly mortgage payment, well, there you go. That's a good way to be able to afford making those mortgage payments. Just be careful. You don't want to get too far behind on the mortgage because you will need to get it caught up. And if you don't have the cash needed to get it caught up, well, the monthly rental payments isn't going to help you keep the mortgage in good standing. Another way to avoid foreclosure is to do a refinance. That's where you go and you work with another bank to get a new mortgage, and you replace your current mortgage that you're having trouble paying with a new mortgage. Maybe you go and you get a longer term mortgage, the lower interest rate, so the monthly payments are lower, and now you can afford it. And you replace a loan you can't afford with one that you can. Another option, which is similar to a refinance, is called a loan modification. This is where you work with your existing bank to modify or renegotiate the existing loan. Basically, again, you are renegotiating the loan into terms that you're able to afford. The last way to avoid foreclosure really is the last resort, and that's bankruptcy. Bankruptcy will negatively affect your credit score as well, but it is a way to avoid having your house taken away from you. So it's an option, but it really is the option of last resort. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Please, 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 if you're facing foreclosure, please give us a call. Talk to us about your situation. Let's see how we can help you out. Thank you and have a great day.